Today to my channel at Sharon a DIY. This is what we made last week, and these are the bookmarks that we used. Simple techniques such as decoupage, just lino print with archival ink, and in my case this was actually used, I used fabric print. This was with resin. It was done very much in the moment of my live video, so it came out, it set quite nicely, but there were pieces of resin that did not really go in, so that's fine. Well, I went back in and I made another one just to show you what it could look like, and here it is. So there is my fancy bookmark using resin, decoupage, and lino. Today we're gonna go on to a new topic, which is light up ACEO frame. So here we are, light up ACEO frame. Ta-da! I hope you like it. This is an electrical light that you would buy in the store, something similar to this one. And this one is a little bit different because this one is a round knob that turns on or off. This one has a switch, which was probably the most ideal situation because you want to have a switch that sits like this outside on the side. There's a problem with this one. This switch doesn't come off of its rectangular base, while this switch came off. So I was able to basically take it off and park it on the side. Nice. So I'm gonna show you in just 1 minute all the things that I did to get from here to here. But before we do that, I wanna talk about all the safety things that I used while creating this frame. So we need pretty much gloves. We needed a mask because I did spray paint the metallic color, so this spray paint is pretty strong and I had to cover my mouth while spray painting, so we need something similar to a mask or a cloth to close your mouth, and if possible eye goggles to make sure the spray doesn't really splash back onto your face or your eyes. So while we're getting into the nitty-gritty of how to get from here to here, I want to also talk about how messy this project was and not to do it indoors. I had to actually take this off and spray paint it outside my house, and when I was spray painting you can see the actual splatter right there, and look at my hands. I pretty much did not use the glove the first time, and I chose to go for the gloves the second time. All right, people. So again, welcome to my channel at Sharon a DIY, where I'm going to show you how we can get an ACEO, which is actually just a simple painting picture card, and take it from just a small watercolor to an elevated piece of art in a light up box. I'm gonna use a screwdriver to open up the back. So this light up box is nothing but just a simple switch light. Cool, huh? So this is what it looks like on the inside. I have placed, well, this is something that I did last week, and it's a watercolor flamingo for one of my shorts. And I will show you what I do is typically just place it on the inside and place it this way. And I figured out that, okay, so this is a 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch card. ACEOs, let me explain that first. They are artist cards, originals and editions. ACEOs. Okay, so they are all the rage right now, and people are creating these ACEOs. They are basically 2.5 inches going this way and 3.5 inches going this way. So length and width, that's what I meant. So this is an ACEO that I painted, and I made a frame for it from a light switch box. So this light switch box that I already dismantled, in order to achieve this, I'm just going to show you the insides of it and how it actually came to me from the shop. This pretty much came through here, and we had this go on here. There was also one of these plastic pieces that went above it, and I want to show you the plastic that I have spray painted. So you can see when you spray paint, this is what you get. None of that on, off, nothing will be visible. Pretty much everything's covered. So that's how I found my switch. So I managed to take it off, and it goes on the side like I pointed out to you. And my painting card, as I said to you earlier, I put it on top this way, along with the frame. Okay. And so now that it works and it fits like a box, this will be hanging out, and my plan is to eventually drill a teeny tiny hole so this sits on the hole and it's not hanging to the side. So then I did manage to get some Velcro tape and put it on the side as so. This, again, like I mentioned earlier, did not come with it on, so I think this bigger piece would come off, but since I've clipped it on top, it's sitting snug and refusing to pretty much leave its spot. And so I can't show you how I got it from the store, but you would not have the same struggles as me, as you will be able to dismantle it just fine. And so once this knob goes in, you should be able to switch it on or off very easily. And so once it's all connected, this is what it's gonna look like. Yes. So and yeah, so here we have it, my lighter box from the switch. So once we put that back in, naturally we have to screw it and get it all set up together. I will not waste your time by showing you how to screw it on or off, and go back to this one here. So friends, I do have this box which I have opened up already, and I know the concerns here, and I have mentioned it to you. I am not an electrician. I'm not somebody who works extensively with lights or electricity. I'm an artist, so these tapes are my piece to make sure they stay on this electrical board, because they kept moving around. So this is how it came from the store. Unlike the other light piece here, switch, which would go on and off easily, the other guy would not come off. It stayed on. So I have a plan which I think works. So So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do so we can do it together right this moment. I hope you're game to keep watching, and I'm gonna try my best not to be a klutz. So I wanna paste it one here, bottom. Okay. And I'll show you why I want to do that. Once we turn it on, you're going to see that it's going to light up right there. And anytime you have an art print that goes on top, you want it to have a light hitting it, similar to this coming from above. And so I want to try and achieve that effect if possible. Go back in and get a new ACEO for you all to see. I have a bigger one this time, and this one's slightly larger than the other one that I've painted, and that's one of the main reasons why I want to go back in and get that. So as you can see, I have managed to I am getting light from behind, and I have some level of coverage in my painting here to show you that. And once we've got this, we know we've got one problem solved, which is how can we get a frame. The frame is all set. It's this hanging piece that I did not have over here that you'll find over here. So this, I do have a solution, but I'm not really sure if it's the best solution. Once we have everything figured out over here, I want to go back in and put this back so we can turn it on real bright. And you can see that you have a second frame, right? So in this case, I did want to have, if possible, we'll go back to the regular tape. I want to do this because earlier it did work when I tried it. So I want it to be the back side of this frame that's going to sit on your desk. So for this to be achieved, it's pretty easy. I don't think that super glue is going to do the job. It will have to be either a tape of some form, an electric tape, or it has to be quite possibly some resin, which I'm not going to use today simply because it's going to take a while to cure. I'm just going to give you an idea. So as you can see, with just purely holding it up with tapes and little sticky bits, it works pretty good. I'm going to show you a second way to get this effect. Okay. So now, in order to get this white plastic frame to change color, we're going to have to use something that's acrylic. I am going to go in for some metallic colors right now. And I think maybe I'll go for a little silver look. So if you have a look, this is nothing but acrylic pen. It's not great. It's a little bit watery, but once it dries, it's gonna do the job of looking very metallic. And I'm gonna show you that in a minute. So that's what it looks like when it's finished. So this is when it's wet, and I'll show you what happens when it's dry. The good thing about acrylic pens, they are pretty much the easiest thing to go over to do any sort of artistic work. And they are fantastic, especially for luck. So here we have the second frame that's ready, but we still need to figure out the sizes of the art cards or the prints. As you can see, I am struggling a little bit to get the right size for this light, because ACEOs are 2.5 by 3.5, and my light is definitely bigger by that much. And so this was one of the larger prints that I did, but this seems to have a bit of a struggle here. So I'm gonna try and just lay it on top and close it up for now. Okay, and so that would work in the meanwhile. And as you can see, this is just pure tape, and so we need to work on some insulation or something else that's a bit more permanent to get this in its place, so we're not really struggling with the tape peeling off, or with pretty much we turn it on and then it just falls apart. That would not be great. So yeah, so this is something that we need to continue on, and I will show you other types. If I do come across, I will make a post and, you know, talk about it. But I would still prefer to go for something that looks like that, which is far more simple and creative, than go for something like this, although it may work for some. I think it's a little tricky for others. Right, so we've got the outside covered. I do want to take a moment to talk about pretty much what you can use to cover the top instead of a gloss. Some people might prefer to leave it as is, but I think we can go for a little covering, which is, this is just a plastic envelope that people use to put their trading cards in. It's just a clear pocket. I've got 60 pieces, so I can certainly cut this up and, you know, stick it on top of them as follows. And if someone might actually not want to use that, they can go for any of these little plastic pieces that come with your packaging or whatever. Instead of getting rid of it, you can just take one of these and just cut up the right size and put it on top. So I hope I was clear today on what we did. I hope I was good enough in explaining how I came across these light boxes. I did have a little bit of struggle with getting this switch to plug in the way it was originally when I purchased it, and that has to be because this little piece, this extra bit that is currently really snugly in there, was not snugly in there. And then we have this little thing that kind of keeps falling off, which is not great for visuals, but it is not so bad. I can assure you that much. It just fits right in and it works. And with a little bit of super glue, I'm pretty sure it will stay in place. So hopefully I got something nice going on for you all. And in order to finish it off, I wanted to also share all the things that we used today. So I used some acrylic pens to cover the outside. I used some spray paint, which is foil metallic paint. This metallic finish was from this spray painting bottle, and I did use my gloves when I was spray painting, and a mask for sure that I used to cover my mouth, and my goggles for safety. I did use a Velcro tape to go in here to stick the switch onto the plastic, and naturally some clear tape for the back of this light box. I did have some batteries in a DIY. I hope you enjoyed everything that we did today, and my apologies for not being able to get it off right off the bat, but hopefully you see that it can work and it's a creative idea. Thanks a lot and have a great day.